My name is Zach Armstrong, and I'm one of the co-hosts of the KeyForge podcast, Call of Discovery. In 2018, when KeyForge launched, I was at Ease Games in California for the launch event. I purchased 4 decks, some metal keys that they had extra on hand, opened the decks, and played a couple of them there. It was a ton of fun, and one of the decks I opened was the Ranee of Bombagom. She's one of my strongest decks, triple control, the Wink, Restring, Guntus, Shadow Self, ways to protect it. A couple other tricks, too. And like a lot of people have done with KeyForge, I wanted to look for meaning in the names I got, connections in the names I have. Pretty early on in KeyForge, we had the lovely instance of Cameron, airport musician, being found by someone named Cameron, who's still an active member of the community, who is a musician. I don't know if he has strengthened his connections to airports in the meantime, but it was an awfully special story. People know about it, and it really showed how special the names can be in KeyForge. We already have so many paradigms that this game changed. However long it lasts, however many imitations, if we get any after this, it's a benchmark. It's a paradigm shift. It is a bold breakout in 100 ways. And one of the ways that it's become clear that Richard Garfield adores this game that he made is the algorithmically generated names. So I had the Ranee of Bombagom, among many other depths. I looked up the meaning of Ranee, which is Sanskrit for a female royal, a queen in English, roughly approximate. And so I looked for other Bombagonians, other cards, other decks from Bombagom. And I found that there exists, I looked in late 2018, after I got the Ranee of Bombagom, there was the Rajah of Bombagom, her royal companion, her royal pair. Of course, as decks of KeyForge came online and the Master Vault, there wasn't any way to find the deck in particular, except after I joined Call of Discovery in 2020, shout from an even larger stage that, hey, I'm looking for the Rajah of Bombagom. He needs to be with the Ranee of Bombagom. They are a royal pair, the Ranee and Rajah of Bombagom. So several years go by. Many intrepid community members give me shout-outs, always check and look for this deck wherever they can. Many of them have told me about their efforts to help me find the Rajah of Bombagom. Fast forward to the Crucible Tracker data getting released, and I had a friend dig through it. And I said, can you look for this deck name? The Rajah of Bombagom. It was in there, tracked, with a username attached. I spent several days looking up all associations of the username and messaging a few real-life people who could have had that username, but to no avail, until I realized that the Crucible.online shows you a list of who is currently playing online. So I searched the username. They were online. I went over to the Games tab, and against all odds, they were in a game. No password. I jumped in, said, hey, sorry to barge in, but I'm looking for the Rajah of Bombagom. I would like to purchase it. I have reason to believe you own the Rajah of Bombagom. I will pay you. Here's my email address. No response for probably the 15-20 minutes I lingered in that game chat. I got an email 4 hours later saying, hello, yes, I own the Rajah of Bombagom. I'm quite fond of it. What would you like to offer me? Not sure if I'm willing to sell. I said, well, here's my price. I would very much like to have this deck, but whether or not you sell it, that's up to you. He said, okay, I'll consider it, but I have to ask, why this deck? The Rajah of Bombagom is not particularly a Vault Tour winning deck. It's certainly not a bad deck, but why this deck in particular? So I said, well, I don't think this person is going to rake me over the coals, so I told them the story, that I opened the Ranee of Bombagom several years back, and I had been aware of the existence of the Rajah of Bombagom ever since. They responded back with, well, who am I to stand in the way of the royal pair being reunited? I'll send it to you for what I paid for it, plus shipping, which was not much at all, of course, from the Czech Republic. The lovely person who I was communicating with didn't send a follow-up email after that, and I had sent 1 or 2 emails just saying, hey, when you get around to it, let me know so I can pay you. So I had no idea if this person was making good on their promise until I got to the mailbox today and found this envelope covered in check, which can only be one thing. So I have here with me the Ranee of Bombagom. And thanks to an intrepid member of the KeyForge community, as I dump all the cards into the bag, I have all the reason to believe that yes, all the way from the Czech Republic has come to be united the Rajah of Bombagom. I'm now seeing for the first time both in glorious gray, matched and paired. Shadow's Distant Sanctum and Sanctum Brobnar Logos, both Call of the Archons decks, together after several years of searching. So, KeyForge is an awfully special game. Stories are made by the unique decks, whether that's how great they are, how well somebody knows them in adaptive, how many tournaments they win, or just the story of their names, like the Ranee and Rajah of Bombagom. So I just wanted to share that with the community, this amazing moment to have them together, the Ranee and the Rajah, and just to celebrate the fact that this doesn't happen in any other card game. This only happens in the jungle of KeyForge. The algorithm made these 2 decks at some point, didn't care that they were paired. One ended up in the Czech Republic, the other in California, where I happened to purchase it in a pile of 4 while I was visiting from the East Coast. And now 2 years and a lot of goodwill from the KeyForge community later, they're together. So that's all I have. Stay safe. Keep forging keys. And yeah, may all your royal pairs come together in a timely fashion.